there's another question from the Honorable Raikonak on the EPF. On the recommendation, there's the diagnostic assessment, there's a recommendation, EPF to be taken away from the central bank because of the conflict. Obviously, we all recognize there's a conflict. So we don't mind taking that out. But recently, we got a direction from the government saying that government has decided to retain EPF with the central bank and asked us to improve the process. But still, decision is to, despite the recommendation, I think we got the communication from the government. It's up to the government to decide. It's coming under the EPF Act. Act has to be amended and need to create a different institution like PDMO, different institution to run this EPF separately with the Labour Department or some other institution. That has to happen. I think in my view, that has to happen very careful process. Think about the process, who can take this over, who can run this fund, who can manage this, address conflict of interest, all these good practices. Those will have to be brought in under new institution if that is taken away from the central bank. Correct. Right now, decision is to keep it to the central bank.
That is news to us.
We got a letter from the President Secretariat that government has decided to retain it with the central bank.
This is a recent decision?
It will remain as how you have managed previously. There's no change to how it's managed.
We are not the regulator. We are the custodian of the fund.
No.
There's no regulator in Sri Lanka for superannuation fund. There's no regulator.
The regulator is the banks.
Regulator the banks. No regulator. Superannuation fund is no superannuation fund.
Manages the account which you buy into accounts of the banks, and then you regulate indirectly.
No, that's a different. That's so earlier practice that government, earlier previous governments use EPF shares to appoint directors on their own to the bank boards. Now we are. Why don't Mr. Fonseca can explain that process?
There was a situation, Honorable Chair and Honorable Ravi Karanayake, where the government used its shareholding to influence appointments to the board. So this was going back to my previous stint in the Monetary Board, where a situation arose where EPF was planning to vote some directors out. So when it came to the board's attention at that time, we took a decision that first of all EPF should only invest in shares where they are confident of the management. Otherwise, they have no business in investing in shares. So we should not invest to change boards or anything like that. So we took a decision at that time. I think from then, to my knowledge, that has been followed. That the EPF will vote with the boards of the banks. If the board recommends a certain decision, the EPF will support it unless the EPF considers it is detrimental to shareholders or the EPF, in which case they have to come to the board, come to the Monetary Board and explain why they think it is detrimental. And it has happened in a couple of decisions, not in relation to directors, it has happened in a couple of decisions where we have said that we have voted against certain recommendations made by directors on certain items. So that is the governance structure we have put for the shares, not only for banks, or for all our investments in listed companies. We are a passive investor who invests in what we think to be good companies. If we don't think they are that good, either we get out, or if they still take action which is detrimental, considered detrimental, then of course, so that governance structure has been put in place. So the EPF shares. The EPF will not, earlier they used to issue proxies in various ways without anybody knowing under pressure from various parties, but that has not happened to my knowledge in recent times.
On that, just one moment, right? I mean, this is not an ideal situation. I mean, blue chip company which is not in the finance sector is a different animal altogether. The EPF buying into bank shares. I mean, we know we don't want to go back to the history of this. I think, and also law cannot be ad hominem, no? I mean, yeah, maybe you won't do it. Who knows? I might come and I'll do it because the law allows me to do it, right? Because the regulations of investment in the central bank's EPF were not followed. We all know that, right? So therefore, I think in the long term, we have to find a solution that these Chinese walls are real Chinese walls, right? So that's my comment on
So
that.
can get back to the previous position on which this was amended somewhere in 2006. No?
Six.
So you get back to, prior to that they were not allowed to buy shares, no? They were trading in the normal...
Not 6, no, 12, 12, no, it was 10, 11.
It's a decision of the monetary board.
11, I think.
It's not by law. It's a decision of the monetary board to diversify their investment into different classes.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it is 5.2 in your investment, what do you call? Investment guideline.
But the Honorable Chairman, the problem, I think, at least the justification at that time, was if the EPF is going to invest in shares, the financial services, especially the banking sector, at least in this country, is a very big portion of that of the listed share market. So the question is, you will have a very skewed investment portfolio if you leave that sector out completely. So that was the, I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that was the rationale. That was because the fortunes of when you are measured, your performance, you leave out a big sector like that. So you will have a problem in measuring how the investment portfolio has performed. But the problem you are saying, I agree. I mean, I'm not arguing with that.